Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Hope you had a decent weekend. I am exhausted. Doesn't help that I've had a headache all day. Not a big deal. My neck gets out, and when my neck gets out, if it stays out, I wind up with a headache. So it is what it is. Wow. Updates. Well, I want to thank Robin for the donation. That definitely threw us ahead. So I was able to order the rest of what I needed to get the exhaust set up for the heater, so I can start running through and making videos like mad when it comes to that, and so that you guys can see how that it actually works functioning inside here. So and the plus side of all of that, well, I mean, it's nothing but plus sides, but we've got some pretty nasty cold weather headed our way, and as long as I get everything all set up and everything works properly, that will assist us in being able to heat the place so that maybe we can keep down on the power bill a bit. So that'd be nice. Aside from that, don't know of any updates as far as we are concerned. Just kind of been the same old, same old. Watched a lot of live video over the weekend. Now, I could have went live myself, and I could have restreamed and all of that jazz. But with my headache and stuff today, I really didn't want to deal with that. I am also, there's a channel that I had shared out, and on the community feed, I made a post of a channel, and I would love to know exactly what it is that she's using, because I really like how her screen's set up, and I sent her an email. Whether or not I'll get an email back, I have no idea. That is what it is. So hopefully I do, because I would just love to kind of have an idea how that, it had like the channel names in the top left. The channel that I'm referring to is Red Pilling the Masses, and she has done such a super job of pulling screens together, or streams I should say together, all on one screen. And like I say, it puts the channel names and stuff in the top left hand corner, and it's a really clean looking setup. I like how she's got it done. So I'm just trying to figure out how that is. I've not seen those options. I've looked in the back end of my Streamlabs, which is like a hopped up version of OBS, and then I actually installed OBS yesterday too, just plain wrapper OBS, so I could take a peek in it and see if I could find it. I couldn't find it. I have no idea what it is. I really haven't played with this software a whole lot. Just basically got it going so I could do the show, and that's it. It gets a little old learning new software all the time, and I'm getting a little old, so it is what it is. So, yeah, a little old. Damn. So anyway, that was as far as I'm concerned. It would appear that there are individuals in the United States that are pretty serious and pretty heavy at work right now to get a convoy organized for the U.S. The convoy in Canada has been absolutely incredible. Man, I watched it for, well, pretty much all day yesterday, most of the day today. I will say that there was a completely different vibe today as what there was yesterday. Yesterday, it was like a dance club. I mean, it was just nothing but fun, exciting. It was wonderful. I mean, it was inspiring, to say the least. Today, there was a little bit of a different vibe going on, and apparently per one of the, well, I believe the main organizer, I believe his name's Pat King, there were kind of some undesirable people show up today. I'm assuming when he was speaking, he was more or less referring to Antifa showed up, and I know, not a big surprise, right? So he actually had given an order, use that loosely, but for the drivers to just kind of shut down early tonight, just kind of get some well-deserved and well-needed rest. So hopefully they're taking his advice. There are still tons and tons of truckers that are trying to make their way into the city of Ottawa, and they're all, I guess they're out on the highway, the interstate or highway, one of the two, because they can't get in. They just can't get in. The response in Canada has been just awe-inspiring. I mean, there are so many trucks, so many people, and like I say, I know yesterday, I don't think there was a single bad incident happen. I mean, everything was just so smooth. Everybody was just having such a great time, and I expect we're going to see more of that. Today, they made it very clear that that although there are those individuals, I guess quite a few individuals, that think they're just there for a couple of days, that they're sorely mistaken. That they're there for the long haul, no pun intended. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens. I was not surprised whatsoever when Undesirable showed up today. I think that you are going to see that continue and increase. And I think that we're going to start seeing different events happen, different things happen to kind of tarnish the name of the movement. Because that's just the nature of how these governments work. And I don't think they're going to be real successful. They have done everything they can to tarnish the name of this movement already and have been largely unsuccessful. However, today there was also a huge change in both YouTube and Google. I was looking because apparently there's a Zello, the Zello app, there's a room in which the truckers are communicating on. Well, they've got a lot of trolls coming on now because it's a public channel and all that. I wanted to go there just so I could listen to them myself. And then, if they want an extra moderator, I'm game. I've done it for going on 25 years now. I've, moderated and administered chats and what have you. So I think I'm up for the task to try to keep some of the trolls out of there. And anyway, as far as YouTube searches, I went to, not YouTube, Google. I went to Google to try to figure out what app they were on because I didn't know at the time and where they were at. And the only thing that Google would pull up was all mainstream news, and none of it was any more recent than 3 days ago. And I thought that was very, very interesting. Not surprising, I want to make that point, not surprising, but very interesting. So Google's up to their old tricks, and YouTube's up to their old tricks. Red-pilling the masses did not have near the viewership that she did yesterday. And I think it's largely because they're doing everything they can to kind of keep these channels that are promoting this, to try to keep them down a little bit. Now there's one up right now. Let me see if, he was up when I started the show. Yep, still up. A channel called VidStorm. They're live right now. Red-pilling the masses is still live right now. And I'm showing almost 8,000 people in VidStorm. So, but Red-pilling the masses, which did a super bang-up job yesterday, I'm currently showing like 652 people. So there's something going on that's kind of keeping things in check a little bit. Now, even VidStorm, I think, had a whole lot more than that before. So they're doing something. I mentioned that the United States is in the process of doing this. And I'll talk about this a little bit. I'll show you what I've got. I don't have any inside information. I'll give you the goods, man. I'll give you what I've got, and you can choose what to do from there. But this is what I have for you. This is where at least they are currently talking on the interwebs. Right here, it's a Facebook page or group called CONVOY to DC 2022, and that is where they're currently organizing. So if you want to kind of keep an eye on what they're doing, how they're coming along, it's a public group. Go on over there, join the group, and keep an eye on their progress. So it does seem like they are making a concerted effort to get this underway. There are no dates set yet, not yet. They're working on the dates, and then they're working on the funding and stuff like that. So just keep an eye on that if you want to check it out. Convoy to DC 2022. Earlier today, somebody had made a post in which I commented on, which seems to be a pretty popular comment. But a gentleman here said, "Why are we having the truckers do the work that we should have been doing long ago? Why are the Australians and Canadians ahead of America on this?" And that's a valid question. That is an absolutely fair question. I don't know why the commenting was turned off for that particular post, because again, that's valid, that's fair. I wouldn't have shut the commenting off unless it got stupid, and I don't think it did. So anyway, my response was a word I like to call, and you guys have heard me say this before, I didn't make it up. I got it from Monograph. And I said a word I like to call comfortability. Folks in the U.S. did not want to stand up and lose the things they find comfort in, but now many are seeing that they are risking the same and most likely more if they stay silent. And as you see at this point in time, there's between hearts and likes, there's 60. I believe it's the most popular comment on that particular thread. So anyway, I just say it how I see it. You know the deal. So anyway, again, I'll say it again, and I'll put a link in the chat if I can get it to load just the regular page here. There we go. Dooby-dooby-doo. I'll throw this in the chat to make it a little easier. I just copied nothing. There you go. And that way you can do the little clickaroo and have easier access to it. So actually I should probably put it in. Let me do that real quick. Won't take me but a second. Just a quick second. Come into the live show here and edit it. So I'm putting it in the description as well for those that are watching the recording of this. And copy, paste, Facebook group. Okay. Good deal. Saved and done. Okay, so now you guys got it in chat. For those watching the recording later on, you have it in the description box below. So anyway, please say some prayers for them and their success. And if you can help out, if you happen to be a driver or know some drivers or whatever the case may be, pass the word. Otherwise, just simply go to the Facebook group and share the group out to the people you know. things like that is what helps these movements grow. So anyway, I did have one dislike on the sermon video I posted earlier. Who in the hell would dislike that? Anyway, I'm gonna have to start posting more stuff like that, I think. Anyway, I like it when evil squirms. So, like I say, keep an eye out on that Facebook group. I have a feeling they're going to organize things pretty quickly. There has been a lot of talk, about drivers coming. There's U.S. drivers up there in Canada. In fact, there's still U.S. drivers that haven't even made it to the border yet that's on their way up to Ottawa. Ottawa is not the only city in Canada that is having a protest, if you will. There apparently is multiple cities across Canada in which they're holding rallies, protests, whatever you want to call it. And so there is quite a few truckers from here in the United States that are heading across the border. There's a lot that's already made it across the border and going to these different cities. So I have a feeling, and it's been talked about, that at some certain point, the U.S. truckers are going to leave Canada and come down to DC, and word has it that some of the Canadian truckers are going to follow the U.S. truckers down in a show of support for us. So that is incredible, and I want to thank everybody that's involved in any part of this, because this is amazing. Without a doubt, from top to the bottom, the Canadian protest, no doubt, Guinness Book of World Records, not only for Convoy, but even the protest itself is absolutely enormous. Now, it didn't look like quite as many people were there today as there was yesterday, but hang tight, it was Sunday, and they don't plan on going anywhere soon. So I have a feeling this next coming weekend is probably going to be even larger than what it was. When people see that they're not going anywhere, that they're going to stick around, there's a lot of people that's going to show up and support. The other thing is, there are a lot of people that may not have had time to organize to be able to get things put together to be there this weekend, but being confident that they'll be there next weekend still, it's probably busy organizing and putting things together to be able to go. So I am just, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. Canada, you have shown the world. You have absolutely shown the world. And we as Americans should be proud of them, not only for what they have achieved, but for the inspiration and for the motivation to get us to do it as well. As you know, there's been protests and riots and all kinds of stuff all across the globe when it comes to these mandates. The U.S., well, we've had a little bit of stuff pop up here and there. Largely, we haven't really done much here. We just haven't. I know that there was a rally in D.C. When was that? Was that last weekend, I think? But I know I saw somebody make the comment of, I forget, 100 and some odd thousand people at the D.C. rally. And I watched live video of that. Luke Radowski was there with We Are Change. There was not. There might have been, 3,000-4,000 people there. But it certainly wasn't over 100,000 people. So we need to change that. We need to fix that. It's not knocking the rally. It was a really good rally. Robert Kennedy Jr. had spoke at the rally. Robert, is it Malone, I believe, the doctor's name? He was there and spoke. There were a lot of good speakers there. The only one I really listened to was Robert Kennedy Jr. I did watch his speech, but that was about it. It just, like I say, there wasn't a whole lot going on. So hopefully we can change that soon enough. And hey, we got to beat the Canadians, man. Come on, we're the USA. We gotta assemble something bigger. I'm not knocking on Canada whatsoever. Trying to encourage the U.S. to get up and make this happen. So, man, I'll tell you, I look at what is going on, and I have to ask myself, is this the Great Awakening? Is this the Great Awakening that the good book talks about? Because I see so many other things that are very in line with the prophecy. So I have to kind of ask, is this part of it as well? Is this the Great Awakening that's spoken of? We'll see. Time will only tell. But I'm waiting to hear more news as to what's going on in Canada. I'm sure you probably know Justin Trudeau had tucked tail and ran. But Pat King was saying, I think he said something that he was at a casino or something somewhere. He mentioned the street or whatever. I found that interesting because didn't he have COVID? They said he had COVID. So if he had COVID, shouldn't he be isolating? So what would he be doing at a casino? What's true? And then on top of all of that, I'm sure he wouldn't look highly upon, any of the peasants that would be sick and going around other people. So why would it make it okay for him to be sick and going around other people? So just lots of questions that many people have that I'm sure is not going to get answered. But anyway, so is life. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any more to add to all of that. I am watching things, as you know, Pelosi, you may not know. Don't mean to make anybody ill here, but Pelosi apparently is not going to be retiring. She does intend to run again. I know, try to, at least make it to the trash can. And so she's going to be running again, and that makes me ask the question, is Hillary going to be running? Because if Pelosi's not going to step down when she had previously planned to, there's something keeping her in there. And I have a feeling that it's probably because Hillary's going to run. I think if we make it to a 2024 election, I think we're going to see a rematch. I think we're going to see a Trump-Hillary rematch. That's just my thoughts. Let's see, aside from that, the situation with Russia, and, I need to stop saying Russia, Ukraine, because it really doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of a beef between Russia and Ukraine right now. It seems like the beef is between Russia and NATO. So, I don't know, just watching this stuff unfold. North Korea has launched more missiles. I think they launched one yesterday, and I think they launched another one today, I think. We'll get to the headlines. It's all in there. Trying to think. I don't really know of anything else other than I need a sip of coffee real bad. Coffee. Or coffee. And a vape. Because, it's in the contract. Remember? Fun times. Try and think if there's anything else that stands out. It's kind of hard considering I spent, the last 2 days watching live streams out of Canada. So, I have been putting the news out as usual, but to be honest, there's not a ton of headlines. But I do think we're going to make it kind of an easy night considering I've got a headache. I don't know of anything else that sticks out since I've last seen you. No, nothing. I mean, I might, you know how it is. I might run into something as I go through the headlines. But again, I'll remind everybody that in the description's the Facebook group for the U.S. Convoy. And so go over there and keep an eye on how things are going out. Or going on, happening, whatever. You put whatever word on there you want. I'm telling you, I'm tired. My head hurts. My neck hurts. My butt doesn't hurt. That's a plus, I think. Give it a few minutes, though. It might. Huh? Damn. Let's see. I gotta have another sip of coffee. I am like jacked up. Okay. Aha. There's the button. Man. Yeah, I really want to figure out how she's doing that. Her live streams. Because that is really cool. I'll show you what I mean if you guys haven't seen. Here, let me make sure the audio's down. I just wanted to show you real quick what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm working on it. There we go. So anyway, like the top left-hand corner, you see, oh, you can't see my mouse on that. Dang it. Okay, well, it's lit up red right now. It says Travel Fun on the top screen. It's lit up red. It's got a speaker. That's the audio she's playing right now. And each corner has that. And I think that's really, really cool. I really love how she's got stuff set up over there at Red Pilling the Masses. So it's a good channel to check out. I don't know why that's zoomed in like that. That's messed up. Anyway, just kind of wanted to show you how she's got her screen set up. And I really want to learn how to do that. So anywho, let's go ahead and take it back over to there. I don't know if that's like a theme that she's got going on or what the deal is. So, I don't know that much about OBS. I just basically know how to get here. I miss Wirecast for some reasons, but other reasons, the Streamlabs / OBS that I use is a lot more handy. It really is. About the only thing that I can't do is stream out to multiple platforms without either paying somebody, whether it be Restream or I think you can pay for a service with OBS or Streamlabs and multi-stream then. But yeah, I've done that several times and it's really not a benefit when I stream to like YouTube and Facebook at the same time. There's really no benefit, so let's see. Let's do some headlines. I'll sneak out of here, out the back door, and relax, probably go to bed a little early, and go from there. Anyway, I don't think I got anything else to add. Like I say, can't wait to get the stuff to finish the exhaust on the heater so I can start showing you guys how I've got things set up, because it's like cold and you guys could use this information if you plan to go that route. So let's see. Alright, as usual, since it's Sunday, I've been off 2 days. We will start with Friday's headlines, and there's not a lot, so it's not going to take me real long tonight. Starting with Friday, New York City mayor allowed to hire his brother, but with a caveat. And that caveat is that he can only pay him $1. But you know how this goes, right? Sure, his salary might be $1, but all the other payments for services rendered, we'll put it, going to be in the millions. GOP and pundits demand #release the transcript after Biden-Zelensky call. And this is because of the controversy of what was said on the call. Yeah, I think they ought to release it. We're supposed to have a transparent government, you know. And I know it was a campaign promise like all the others, but he promised transparency. And, man, I'll tell you what, that's some awful dark transparency he's got going on there. Poland ready to make a deal with Russia, says the media. Ex-Russian president reveals Moscow's thinking on China. Major crypto exchange mulls Russia expansion despite looming ban. Russia comments on risk of war with the West. North Korea confirms latest launch of cruise missiles. And again, this was Friday's news, so there's going to be more missiles since then. Met Police want minimal reference to probe in Partygate report. Yeah, old Boris has got himself backed into a corner, I believe. NATO response embarrassing, says Moscow. COVID unjabbed should pay for treatment, says hospital's chief. This is in Paris. Apple and hot water for stifling competition. Scientist makes once-in-a-lifetime insect discovery. It's a rare leaf hopper. So if you ever wanted to know about the leaf hoppers, let's see. Niece of presidential candidate to back rival. This was in France. Kremlin reveals what it really thinks of anti-vaxxers. Yeah, well. U.S. bans telecom giant over spying concerns. And it's a Chinese telecom service. EU and UK planning massive sanctions against Russian gas, says the media. Netanyahu threatened to set army of bots on me, an Israeli PM says. Judge axes $190 million offshore lease. McDonald's posts largest U.S. sales jump since 1993. And we wonder why there's so many unhealthy people. Gee, I don't know. Apple trials new feature amid COVID, says the media. What am I binging and bonging coming from? Hang on a minute. I've got bings and bongs, man. The wrong kind of bongs. Oh. Hang on. Let me take care of this, gentlemen. Really? Oh, wait. Okay. You're good. Hang on. Okay. Somebody wanting in the group, our local town group here, so that's why I got bonged. Let's see. Covered that. Ukraine approves major UK warship deal. I want to know where my deal is. I mean, I could use a yacht. I need a yacht to be able to monitor the warships with. And where's that damn F-15 at? He promised me an F-15. Pope warns of growing infodemic, right? And he's all pissy because people aren't getting vaccinated. And, well, I got news for you, Popper. Let's see. Soros stocks his war chest for Democrats ahead of midterms. EU Commission lambasted over Pfizer vaccine deal secrecy. A bridge collapses ahead of Biden infrastructure visit. 10 hurt. And I kind of have to question that because it happened like hours before he got there, you know. And here's the sad thing. They'll spend billions on infrastructure, right? Billions with a B. And they won't touch any of these bridges that are in such bad shape. They'll all start new projects doing crap that people don't need, but they won't do anything to fix what's already there. It's sad. Putin and Macron hold crunch talks. Nearly 50 steel executives jailed over emissions. Now, that's in China. And that kind of set me back when I saw that headline because it's like, wait a minute. In China, they jail the bad businessmen. Imagine that. I wonder if we could start doing that. Maybe. NATO knows Russia won't really invade Ukraine, a source tells media. Show courage and send guns, Ukraine tells Germany. Russian military bases in Cuba could escalate tensions with the U.S., says former president. First trial of HIV vaccine using COVID jab tech announced. West overhypes possibility of war, says Ukraine's president. Smartphone giant rolls out gender-neutral emojis, says the media. Just what we need. Pence reveals how long it's been since he's spoken to Trump. Apparently, the summer of 2020. Domestication made cats' brains smaller, scientist finds. Imagine that. I wonder if the same happens to humans. By the way, it does. Coronavirus is forever Americans' fear, says a poll. And by that, when I say that, as we become more domesticated, not encouraged to think, okay, not encouraged to do for ourselves, as that trend, the more cushy lives that we get, the more convenient lives that we get, yes, our brains shrink. Absolutely. Scientific fact. Coronavirus is forever Americans' fear, says a poll. And now, before you jump on that headline, it's not so much misleading, but Americans aren't fearing it. Basically, what it's saying, what the article is saying is, the most Americans just think it's going to be another type of flu, just a seasonal thing that we deal with, and that would be the correct answer, Bob. Bing, bing, bing. U.S. arms manufacturers say conflict with Russia means big profits. Start pumping vodka through Nord Stream 2, U.S. official jokes. I don't know, might not be a bad idea. U.S. moles sending extra aid to Ukraine. Ukraine won't join NATO in the near future, says a German FM. Russia cast doubt on Navalny poisoning. Hang on, let me grab some coffee. More headlines Friday than I thought. We should be about through those, and then yesterday and today it was pretty quiet. I think many outlets are trying to avoid talking about Canada. Kind of hard for them to really spin that off as anything other than what it is. I thought it was kind of humorous that Pat King, I guess the main or one of the main organizers, apparently CBC up in Canada has made some remarks about him, claiming racist and stuff like, the usual. And so Pat had said in a live stream tonight that they can be looking forward to contact from his lawyers. So right on, Pat King. Russia reveals whether it will compromise on security guarantees. Court deems mail-in voting law unconstitutional. Hoorah. Russia planning retaliation to Germany's RTDE ban, says the media. Ukraine won't get any U.S. combat troops, the Pentagon says. So, Trump calls Ukraine situation a European problem. Biden administration meets with big banks over Russia sanctions, says reports. And the fate of the Rittenhouse rifle is decided. He was trying to get the rifle back so that he could destroy it. That's what he wanted to do. Mr. Rittenhouse didn't want the rifle to wind up out there and sold, for a profit or for anything else. And so I guess everybody wins here. He did not get the rifle, but they did promise to destroy it. So that particular rifle is going to be destroyed. So that is a good thing. I mean, that it's his will. Biden says U.S. to send troops to Eastern Europe in near term, says the media. Portland's quest to rehire police falls through. U.S. general says Ukraine invasion would be horrific. You being the Joint Chiefs of Staff is pretty horrific. Russia moves blood supplies near Ukrainian border, says Reuters. And I did reach out when I saw this particular article. And there are indicators that Russia is building, they are amassing, but it looks like they're amassing a defense, not an offense. So there's that. I get the distinct feeling from the comment that was made to me on the matter that Russia is actually concerned about NATO. So, and I trust that source more than I do any of these others. Okay, let me have a couple of vapes here. We are to yesterday's news. Ow. Pop my neck, maybe rip my head off, I don't know. Probably feel better. Oh. Ready to snuggle up with a doog, and we call her a doog. Ready to snuggle up with a doog and go to bed. No, I won't dance naked for $2. Oh, wait, what? Oh, you talking about the last thing? Yeah. I was joking about dancing naked. I'll do that for free. Anyway, yeah, actually, now that you mention that, it's actually S500s, but that is correct. But it's S500s. So, yepper. That was also included in my conversation. Or I should say in the reply. I can't say it was conversation. That would imply that it was back and forth, and it was just out to them and back to me, and that was it. So. Okay, Croatian president calls PM Ukrainian agent. Yes, S500s are absolutely lethal. I mean, I don't know how much really we could do against the S400s, no less the S500s. The S500s just, I mean, we don't have anything that they can't see, and then with their checkmate, and I do believe they probably been rolling that aircraft that is nicknamed anyway, checkmate. I think they've probably been rolling that off of the production line for some time. That is essentially their reply to our F-35. Pardon me. The difference between the checkmate and the F-35 is the checkmate works. And they've already got the AI systems and stuff like that set up in them as well. Yes. There's a lot that S500 can do. And the radar system that's with it is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, yeah. And it does, like I say, it was made very clear to me that it looks like they're setting up for a defense, that they expect trouble. So, I hope not, but, with everything in the world the way it is, that is typically how they reply when the economy is in the tank and so many other issues at foot. They normally go to war. and it's normally a big war. So that's the biggest indicator to me, looking outside in on this, is that all of the other ingredients to the recipe are there, just a matter of it starting. So, and I do expect something like a Gulf of Tonkin type of incident or something like that. I do expect a false flag to try to garner support from the other NATO members, which are, coming out and saying they want no part of this. I think they're going to do everything they can to try to get NATO support, to try to get as many other countries to get involved as they can. We'll see. So, and I do expect that the false flag that happens will be something significant. I don't think it'll be a ship or anything. I think it'll be something bigger than that. So I hope I'm wrong. I don't want to be right on this, but that's just how I read it. Let's see. Croatian president calls PM Ukrainian agent. And by the way, we are on yesterday's news. Ambassador warns of tinderbox at risk of starting U.S.-China war. A video of U.S. Navy jet crash in South China Sea released. Global coal prices surge as Ukraine tensions rise. Let me have another sip. I can't even speak. Which is normal, but it's a little worse than normal. Okay. Still on yesterday's news. U.S. wants sanctions to hit Russian industry but spare consumers, says the White House. Former Russian president names country's biggest problem. Somebody's over there snoring. Let's see. Russia accuses U.S. of using Ukraine. Major non-NATO ally loses U.S. military aid. That would be Egypt. I couldn't remember. U.S. becoming more dependent on foreign goods. Yeah, that's not really a headline. We knew that. Russian troops display combat readiness amid Ukraine tensions. Apple stock reacts to metaverse plans. WTO block. Let me try that again. I'll just say World Trade Organization. Well, I can't talk at all. Backs China in trade dispute with the U.S. Russia sets out difference between traditional values and foreign amorality. Ukraine to train citizens on how to deal with bombs. Run. Step 1, run. Step 2, get the hell under something. Step 3, pray. You might want to start step 3 at actually step 0.5. U.S. state may make Bitcoin legal tender. Pregnant foreign reporter asks the Taliban for refuge after being rejected by her home country. Cell carrier to drop unvaxxed staff, leaked mail suggests. That would be T-Mobile. Canada prepares for anti-COVID mandate trucker protest. GOP doctors caucus infuriated with Fauci, says the White House. I'm a dictator, Belarusian leader jokes. U.S. calls on arch rival for help against Russia. Yeah, they literally went to China to ask them to help influence Russia. Yeah, that's when you know you're kind of at the... You're drawing straws, man. You're drawing straws. Pentagon reacts to problem of civilians dying in U.S. drone strikes. New York nurses arrested after making a staggering amount from fake vaccine cards. By the way, backing up to that last headline. So yeah, they've launched a central civilian casualty clearinghouse. Right? In other words, they formed another committee which will absolutely get nowhere with anything. Russia reveals whether it will relocate naval drills at Ireland's request, and yeah, they will. Dog proposed as better governor for a U.S. state. That would be West Virginia. Media floats Russia theory for Canadian trucker protest. When I read that headline yesterday, I literally choked. I mean, the laugh came on so quick and so hard, I literally choked. Let's see. Australia says it found son of Omicron amid COVID surge. This is this new variant that I've been talking about, so nothing new other than that. Something BA2 or whatever. Hang on, I gotta sneeze. You guys didn't want your eardrums blown out. UK unveils major military offer to NATO as a clear message to Moscow. Prince Andrew wants disgraced actor to testify at trial, says the media. He's talking about Kevin Spacey, and so it kind of makes me wonder if... thank you. It kind of makes me wonder if possibly he's going to start dropping a bunch of names. It would be nice if he'd drop a bunch of names. Killing of Swede and American in Congo results in 51 death sentences. Pyongyang test fires suspected missile, says Seoul. And again, this was yesterday. Trudeau moved to secure location amid trucker protests, says the CBC. Hungary does not need NATO reinforcements amid Ukraine standoff, says minister. By the way, the memes of him running from semis are classic. One of them I saw was the, if you've seen the movie Maximum Overdrive, one of those trucks, the truck with the evil-looking green face on the front of it. Hilarious meme. Let's see. Citing its powers under the COVID... Under the COVID state of emergency beginning March 2020, the government of Nova Scotia, Canada, has declared it illegal to finance, organize, aid, or participate in a truck convoy, to line the roadside in support of a truck convoy, and violators face $10,000 fines. Imagine that, huh? Man accused of threatening to kill Serpent Biden. Border Patrol chief admits morale at an all-time low. Gee, I wonder why. Let's see. Okay. Let me have a sip of coffee, a couple of vapes. We are on today's news. Hang on, let me turn the mic down and blow my snaz. Okay, much better. Okay, Trump warns Biden about quote-unquote invasion. He's talking about the one at the southern border. Bullion back by popular demand, says a report. Trump makes pledge to Capitol rioters, basically that he's going to pardon them if he gets back in office. All right. Hang on a minute. I guess, I hit my volume button when I did that, or knob. LNG supplies to Europe hit an all-time high. Wind and solar provide over half of China's additional power capacity. U.S. teacher trained women and children to become ISIS suicide bombers. And then she was trying to recruit people, I believe, here in the U.S. at a college. Nice, huh? Oliver Twist hit with content warning, says the media. Peace with the U.S. only possible after New World Order, says a Putin ally. I really don't like that language. Artist threatens to release new music on Spotify if Joe Rogan isn't removed. Just kind of having fun with it. Why not? Make Ukraine neutral, says a German MP. Ukraine crisis may hit vital global economy sector, the UN says. UK gas production could plunge 75% by 2030. Talk about massive problems there. Defiant Trump vows to ban trans athletes. UK divulges what it might do with Russian oligarchs. Man declares himself a woman to retire early, says the media. Apparently in Switzerland, they have something to where I guess women can retire 1 year earlier than men. And as far as changing your sex over in Switzerland, apparently it's just paying a fee and filling out a couple of papers, and it's a done deal. And so he's getting himself a rather nice pension a year early. Decades-old mascot altered over white power concerns. Apparently, the OK symbol, okay, right? Look, that started on 4chan. This does not mean white power. It started on 4chan as a troll. It does not mean white power. It just means okay, like it has meant for decades upon decades upon decades. Just okay. That's it. Calm down. Woman throws daughter into enclosure with a live bear. Yeah, 30-year-old woman threw her 3-year-old daughter into this bear enclosure, and thankfully the zookeepers didn't Harambe him. Thankfully. The bear at first kind of backed away, kind of because unsure and startled by the situation. And then I guess there was some kind of a moat, and the bear went down into the moat, and I guess worked its way to the child, went up to the child, checked on the child to make sure the child was okay, sniffed the child, checked the child to make sure the child was okay, and then backed away so the zookeepers could get in there and get the child out. So I thought that was pretty incredible, and just one more bit of proof on why they didn't need to kill Harambe. That was stupid. West lying about World War II, says Russia. Believe me, these animals, especially these zoo animals, they're a lot more clued in than what they're given credit. And, yeah, there's incidents that happens with zoo handlers and stuff like that, but a zoo handler isn't a child. Many animals react very differently to children than what they would do an adult. They know a child when they see a child, and usually they don't get aggressive. All types of sanctions for Russia on the table, says EU. And by the way, I'm talking about in the zoo. I'm not necessarily talking about on the, safaris of Africa. That's a little bit of a different situation. Moscow warns of fallout if UK seizes property of Russian oligarchs. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle want Spotify changes amid Joe Rogan debate. Well, you do something in one hand and you wish in the other. Spotify CEO unveils platform's new approach to COVID-19 content. So apparently they are going to do something. Actress canned after complaining about cop's funeral procession. Let's see. North Korea confirms test of its most powerful missile in 4 years. This is a good article. It's what Canada Truckers Freedom Convoy is all about. pretty decent article, pretty decent, it's accurate. Thousands protest COVID restrictions in Europe. And lastly, fourth Mossad commander resigns in under a year, says the media. Anyway, those are the headlines. I still went past 9 o'clock a little bit, so I am going to get out of here. My head is splitting, and God willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully I shouldn't have a headache. Usually when this happens, when my neck's all acting up and stuff, usually I wake up the next morning and it's a lot better. So I call it Little Pillow. I don't know really where the hell it came from. I think one of Jim's friends gave it to us, like when we first got our first apartment. Little Pillow. And I think, or did you have that before? Oh, you had that. Okay, so Jen had it before. But it's just a little round pillow, and I stick it underneath my neck sometimes when I go to bed. So, and that's what I'll do. I'll put the heating pad on top of Little Pillow, and I'll lay on it, and I'll feel better tomorrow. So, anyway, I hope you all have a good evening. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it all again. I appreciate you coming out, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope everybody has a good night. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit, and shalom. I really can't talk. So, good night, everybody.